Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Looped In with Maritza. Today is Wednesday, September 9th, 2020. It is now, unbelievably, 59 days until Election Day. So, for those of you that have not registered to vote, please do so as soon as possible. Those of you that do not wish to go in person to the polls, please make sure that you request a mail in ballot. For the state of Pennsylvania, the deadline will be, I believe, October 27th to get it in, mail it in sooner. In our home, we just got our mail-in ballot, so if that is what we choose to do, we're going to mail it in as soon as possible. Census 2020, your numbers count. Every single person in your family counts down to the babies. If they were born prior to April 4th, please make sure you're counted. If you have not done so, take care of your census online, over the phone. If a person comes knocking on your door, it literally only takes 10 minutes to fill out your census. Please make sure you remind your family and friends to do so. This means your representation in Washington, D.C. This means money for your schools. This means money for Pell Grants. This means money for the elderly. Please make sure that you take care of your census, and please make sure to remember there are only 59 more days left until the election in November. In the city of Philadelphia, we have started school. It is now 1 full week since the beginning of virtual school. A lot of things have been happening, a lot of bumps in the road. Before we get started, I want to give a very big special thank you to the National Parents Union for allowing me to be the voice, the representative from Pennsylvania, one of the delegates. There are many of us across the nation, including Puerto Rico. Please know that all members of the National Parents Union, we're here, we're together, we're a voice, we'll stand by you if you need us. You just need to reach out to let us know. If you want information regarding the National Parents Union, info@npunion.org. You can go on to the Facebook National Parents Union page. You can look for the National Parents Union official website. On there, you will see how you can register to become a member, how your organization can register to become members. If you want to be on one of our many shows, there are information about our shows also there as well. Now, I'd like to bring out, I have two very special guests today. We're going to be talking about two very important topics. Ms. Jada, if you can please bring on my first guest so they can introduce themselves, I'd really appreciate it. I'm hoping I'm not having any technical difficulties right now. Let's wait a few more seconds, and hopefully our guests will be able to come on and say hello to everybody today. We still seem to be having a few technical difficulties, so I'm just going to keep, you know how we do, we're going to keep it moving. Right now, I can speak from my experience and what I've been seeing hands-on in the city of Philadelphia. I work out of one of the schools in the city of Philadelphia. We have had some minor glitches with regards to children being able to log on. We have had some issues with parents not having access to Wi-Fi. Please know that if you're a parent of a child in the school district of Philadelphia, you can call your child's school. They can assist you with getting a hotspot. If your child is a newly registered student at that school, specifically a rising kindergartner, your child's homeschool has Chromebooks to be able to give your child access to a laptop for use for the school. If there are any children that are having issues with a laptop or Chromebook that are not functioning, please take it to 440 North Broad Street, the school district of Philadelphia, and they have technicians there as well as the ability to switch out the Chromebook or laptop if needed. Just keep that in mind. Always call your school. Not every school has a person there physically in the school, But if you're able to call the school secretaries across the city in the school district of Philadelphia have been given cell phones, which connect directly from the school office phone to their phone. So you should not have an issue with connecting with any school secretary if you have any questions. My first guess, if you could take yourself off mute. Hello, how are you?
Hello?
Yes, I can hear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, absolutely. Please introduce yourself.
Hey, how you doing? Having some issues picking you up.
Okay, we can
How you
definitely hear
doing?
and see you.
I think I can hear you now. Let me see.
We can hear and
Hold
see
on, I'm
you.
having some.
How are you? Okay.
Right. Let me make sure I'm not. Can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Make sure I can hear. Can you hear me?
yes.
Can you hear me, Maritza?
Yes, I can. Yes.
All right. I'm not picking you up.
I'm gonna send you a message through the chat. Oh,
Just make sure.
We can hear.
Hold on, I'm having some.
How are you?
I'm not picking you guys up. I'm not getting any sound over here.
Oh, okay. My apologies, everyone. We're having a bit of some.
I can hear you now.
You can?
Yes.
Okay, great. So introduce yourself, sir. Tell us about your organization, and then we're going to get this cracking.
Yes. So my name's Haneef Hill from Philadelphia, and I run an organization known as Urban Youth Kings and Queens. We started back in 2016, and it's really an opportunity for us to empower the youth through education, recreation, and sports programs. So for the past 4 years, we've been really getting a lot of children engaged, specifically, I would say, in the northwest part of the city, and doing extracurricular programs, educational programs, doing mentorship opportunities for the children. So we're really excited to, be able to offer a lot of different programs and resources to the children and the families within the community since we've been founded in 2016. And one of the unique things is every year, we're growing a little more. We're also rolling out new programs. And so, with the COVID going on, this year brought, some challenges, but then also some opportunities. And we wanted to make the best of this year because we know that a lot of families, a lot of organizations, the communities, everybody's been impacted. A lot of people are struggling, and we wanted to find a way to make sure that we could sustain, maintain, and continue to be a resource and be relevant to the community and the city as well.
Oh, well, I want to congratulate you for your organization being from round one of over 300 applicants of the Homeschool Pod Micro School Accelerator Grant by the National Parents Union. So congratulations. I was very excited to see that an organization out of Philadelphia, jumped on it and applied and made their pitch and got selected. How many children are you going to be able to service with the help of that grant?
Yeah, so with that grant, our goal is to be able to work with about 20 children a day, throughout the school year. Really just providing a safe place for the children to come, get out the house, get their schoolwork done, still engage in social interaction, still be able to develop peer relationships, and also, just receive some support from staff, from mentors, and I think one of the challenges that I realized at the end of last year, also being a parent, is that, locking the children or keeping them in the house and it created this level of isolation. And I watched my daughter as she just, she became more comfortable sitting in the house, but I also noticed that her social interaction skills were dwindling. Like she was dying for that desire to get out, to be around her friends, to be around her peers, to see her teachers. So I didn't want to put her through that. And I also, hate the thought of other children have to go through that. I think for now, I believe we're set to go back to school mid-November, but you never know. That could be extended until, January. So I think one of the immediate needs that we saw was to be able to do something, take some action right now and provide an opportunity. So we wanted to be able to find a space, get as many children as we could in a comfortable space and provide them with an opportunity.
That's wonderful. So you said Northwest Philadelphia specifically. So
Yeah.
does your organization already have a space where the children are coming to on a daily basis?
Yes. So we found a space. We talked with the church. We built a great rapport with them. They had a great space available. And, really for me, I wanted to kind of, look at the layout to make sure that we can get the kids in comfortable, but also keep them safe. And so once we kind of, did our walkthrough and we saw the space, we said, we definitely wanted to move forward with this. We figured 20 kids would be a comfortable number where children can come out. They can have a place to eat lunch. They can enjoy some recreational activities because right across the street is a playground. Right next door is an empty lot. So we take the children outside. When they get breaks, when they get lunch breaks, we take them outside, get away from the phones, get away from the computers. Let's go out and let's get some air while the weather's still nice. Let's enjoy this time.
That's wonderful. So, because being that I work, I'm working out of a school, partially right now. I've noticed that, and you're saying that the children actually get out and they go outside. I think that's a wonderful thing. As a parent as well of school-age children, my concern has also been for those parents that don't have that opportunity to send their children somewhere and have to be in a house. My concern as of late has just been for those families that have to go to work.
Right.
So they have to leave their children at home. Some of them are, in my opinion, age appropriate to be home by themselves, and then the other there may be younger ones that are not, and those are the ones that I know that at my school in particular, those teachers are really being mindful of making sure that they can see the children. Right. They can see them. If there haven't been any children that have not logged in, our school's deans have been doing home visits. Making sure, where's the student, where's the child, can I see the child, can they come to the door, just to make sure the kids are okay, well check, just to make sure I have any issues getting online, because, our phones have been ringing off the hook, I can't get in, my child can't log in, I don't know how, giving them a workaround. So what grades are you guys covering, K through 8, or is there a cutoff for what, what your program is doing?
Yeah, our focus is second grade and up. And really, I think we provide the supervision. We help with the troubleshooting. A lot of the children that we have now, they're able to work independently. A lot of the instruction is given from the teachers. So we're there to provide that support, to make sure that they're staying on task, to redirect them. And really, one of the first thoughts that crossed my mind when we went into this venture was, all these parents can't stay at home. Not everybody has the flexibility to stay at home and work. And so now we're in this situation where, the city's not shutting down, the parents need to work, the kids need to go back to school. What are our options? So I know the school district has set up some sites for the children, and, I also wanted to be a part of that, because every child won't be able to get to every location. So we're one site of many, but we also wanted to be able to provide that resource for these kids. And I have a lot of parents already within our network. And one of the first things we did was we sent out a survey. The minute the school district made their decision, we sent out a survey to our parents to get feedback, to see what the needs are, what the stressors would be for a lot of the families. And that desire was, I need to go to work. I need to go to work, and I cannot leave my child at home. Or my child is of age, but I'm not comfortable leaving them home by themselves. So you definitely have both scenarios. So I said, what, let's open our doors. We can get the children in. We'll provide those resources, that help, that support, and allow the parents to be able to go to work with a peace of mind.
Oh my gosh, what you guys are doing. Do you have a wait list? You probably do have a wait list.
Yeah, we
Parents
have.
are trying to say, hey, you want to,
Yeah, and I noticed now that some of the parents were like, we're going to try this, but I know they're going through it. I mean, it's a challenge. It is a challenge because I think one of the struggles I faced as a father was my daughter said to me, "Daddy, I want you to be daddy, not my teacher. I
oh,
want my teacher." So even though I could teach her to work, she still wanted that relationship from another individual to help her with her studies. So I understand that. She still wanted that opportunity to be able to get out and go play with other kids, for recess, whether it was an hour or half an hour. She just wanted that outlet. So being in both shoes, running the business, but also being a parent, I understand the struggle. And I welcome families. If these parents are struggling, trying to find opportunities, trying to find an outlet, we're here to help. Reach out. Whatever we can do, we'll definitely accommodate.
So, honey, if there's anyone that is really interested in reaching out to your program specifically, because you mentioned you're one of the providers that the city has initially rolled out to provide this access center for 800 children, and then
Right,
the city is stating they're gonna roll out more centers by the end of the month.
Right. Well, we're not part of the city, but the city has incorporated a very similar process.
Gotcha.
We're just
Okay.
we're separate from the city, but
Mm-hmm.
we're basically running the same type of setup that the city has with different qualifications. So
Gotcha.
we're open to any kid. There's no restrictions. I think my recommendation with the parents is, making sure that the child is able to complete their work independently, but we're here to support. We're here to support that, because I know trying to stay at home and do your work, but then also monitor and supervise your child, it's a struggle, and it's very stressful as a parent, who has deadlines to meet, who has meetings to attend, who's doing their own Zoom meetings, and then wants to make sure that their child is getting their work done. And then on top of that, you have a lot of the extracurricular programs that are canceled, after schools and sports programs. So the children, aside from being stuck at home doing work, they don't have anything to do after that school day. So this is if this is that one resource where you can get out the house, we want to be able to provide that, and also include the extracurricular activities and the sports and fitness, anything that these children need. We incorporate all that into our program.
Okay. So if a parent that's listening or watching wants to reach out to Urban Youth Kings and Queens, how would they do that? How would they reach you to be able to ask you, do they live in an area where they can be part of the even the extracurricular and the sporting programs? How can they reach out to you?
Yeah, so they can call us at 215-645-2770. They can also visit our website at urbanyouthkq.com. And they can send us an email at info@uykq.org. Either way, you can reach out to us. We would definitely feel happy to answer any questions you have.
Oh my goodness. I appreciate you responding to my message, because when I saw and I said, oh, I have to reach out to this organization. It's a Philly home organization. I need to find out. Congratulations again on being a recipient. So for all those other organizations that, I might have sent a message to, hey, there's this grant, apply for it. Here's proof positive. This organization got selected. Don't sleep on it. Make sure that when the next round of opportunity comes out, people apply. We had over 300 applicants from across the country, including Puerto Rico. So you being one of the first round picks, I mean, I think it's amazing.
Yes.
Keep on doing what you're doing.
Thank you.
Do not be surprised if somebody else calls you back to talk about your wonderful program on one of our other shows.
Okay.
Keep on doing it. You're gonna hear from me because I have 3 little ones. They need some sports in their life.
Yes, bring them.
I'm gonna reach back out with many questions. You stay safe. Your staff stay safe. Your family stay safe. And if you ever need me, you have my information, brother.
Yes, Maritza, I appreciate it. Thank you guys for the opportunity. Thank you for selecting us. We really appreciated that, and we really appreciate the support. And just thank you. This is, for me, this is a blessing. We walked into this journey not knowing how we were going to come out on the other end, but I'm grateful, I'm thankful, and I thank you guys for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you so much. Well deserved. You take care. You're welcome to stay on and listen in. And I'm about to bring out my second guest for my section of time. Thank you so much again.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Family, we're about to bring out another wonderful guest. She is a counterpart of mine. And I'm gonna let her introduce herself. Hi.
Hi, how are you? I'm Kelly Williams-Bollard.
So for those people that do not know, Kelly represents the state of Ohio, a neighboring state. I represent the state of Pennsylvania. Oh, she did. She fixed it. It's okay, Jada. It's straight.
Got it.
We are part of the National Parents Union. We are also members of the National Parents Union Council. When I first had the opportunity to hear Kelly's name, it really touched me. So I would like you to, aside from telling us your wonderful name, if you can share your story, and we will definitely get into it, because I think it's very important.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, okay, so I was married. I had a rough marriage. I had two beautiful daughters from my marriage. Ended up getting a divorce, and I was living out on my own, and I had to support my daughters, and so my parents, they lived in a really, really beautiful, nice suburban area. Well, this is about the school district. So I had enrolled, my father he had been telling me time after time, enroll the kids here because I'm here, and you're in school, you're working, enroll the kids here. And finally one year I was like, all right, I'm going to do it. So I enrolled my daughters there. The first year, everything was fine. I mean, it was a little, like where the first year they hire people to come and look inside your home to make sure you actually live there. So they would come into your home and look and see if you actually live there. Like they would go into your bathroom, they go into your bedrooms, Okay, so but the first year was fine because I was always at my parents' house constantly anyhow. And I had toothbrushes and everything there because I was always at my parents' house, especially once I got a divorce. So the following year is when things got kind of weird because that's when they said they hired a private eye to follow me around for 14 days to see if I actually lived there or not. And I was like, okay, so, I was like, it was getting too much for me. We did try to get something called the grandparent power of attorney. Do you know anything about that?
No. Please
okay,
tell.
So the grandparent power of attorney is when the parents, I go and I get the grandparent power of attorney, and then my parents can actually get them enrolled or continue to keep them in the district. Well, of course they didn't want that because it was basically, to them, it was a little too late. So the judge, in that June, the judge said, take them out and just leave it as that. I said, okay. That was in 2009. 18 months later, me and my father received indictments.
Wow.
And it was like October, November of 2010. So it went into 11 because that's when I went to jail, was in January 2011. And then my dad went to jail like right after that. And so it was just traumatic. Like I never thought that I would be challenged like that. Like I took the kids out. It was 18 months later. And, I just thought that was, I don't know. I just went to a deep depression. I was very sad. And, I had received two charges, grand theft and tampering with documents. It was another one, but they had to throw that one out. And it was only because of the pressure of the nation, because the people in the country was like, no, like they were literally calling them and they were saying no, because all my stuff was like basically broadcast. Me going to jail, the process, hauling me off to jail, and I'm like wailing and screaming and crying. All that stuff was on national television. So people really came to my defense and really voiced their opinion about what had happened, because it was not, did it fit the crime? You see what I'm saying? Did the punishment fit the crime versus if it, hey, did I do something wrong? I did. I illegally enrolled my kids in my parents' school district. I just wanted them to have a good school. I just wanted them to be safe, honestly. But, but at the end of the day, that was their law. But it didn't fit the crime. Me going to jail, me receiving two felonies, it would never, ever pan out. So I guess that's it in a nutshell. But go ahead.
But the fact, and my thing is this, you made a choice because wherever you were living at that point in time, you knew that the quality of education wasn't what you wanted for your children.
Absolutely.
That the safety in that neighborhood school or the closest school to you that was available to your girls was not a safe area.
Absolutely, it was not.
You did what any other parent would have done to make sure that their children, got what they deserve to have. And this is why we're in that fight. Every school's caliber of education and safety should be priority number one.
Period. That's right.
And that's how it should be. So when I, my first, the story, I heard it, and then I was like, I remember this. Being from PA, I was like, I remember this. And then the more I heard about it, and and I looked at it, and I said, oh my gosh, I do remember this. But you are not alone in having done this. It was
right.
The fact that school district decided to wait 18 months. They made a decision to start a process. And it took a year and a half, and for you moved on, you put your girls in a school near you, they're getting on with their education, you're working, going to school, moving on with your life, and then for you and your dad to get hit with that was absolutely horrible and horrendous. And I don't know.
Malicious. It was malicious.
Yes.
They wanted to really affect us, because it was 18 months later, and nowhere on earth, when I got, what happened was I received a postcard in the mail, and it said Ohio versus Kelly Williams Bollard. I'm like, what is this? Like, I never, first of all, I didn't even know that's how you got indicted. Like, you get a postcard. I just didn't, right. I didn't even think that was, because I didn't know the process. And so I remember telling my dad, I was like, I got this Ohio versus Kelly Williams Bollard. It didn't say the school, it just said Ohio. And so I went over to his house, and he was like, check my mailbox. And I went out and I checked it. And of course, we both received the same postcard at the same time. And that's when the process began. And then we went to court. And then we sat there, and I remember, they had told us to come up to the bench, or however, and that's when it was disclosed that it was Copley. And it was like, what? Like, they really took all those resources that they had, could have been towards something else, and they, did all of this. Now we got to get they got the grand jury and they had them, and they, had them to say, yes, we need to be indicted. But then you got to go and you got to get a jury, and you got to, go to court. And then I went to jail for 10 days. I was on probation for 3 days. The governor had to get involved. And as soon as he heard about it, he was like, you can't indict every mom that go to, are you serious? He was like, do you know how many moms do this? And then of course I work at a local school. So I knew just in my classrooms how many kids lived in the district and how many did not, and they would catch the bus in the afternoon and go from one side of town to the other, like, it's very common. And the judge she had stated time and time again that she had wanted to make an example out of me. And that's when I was like, oh God, I just knew. I knew it was And I really knew, me and my dad really knew when we were sitting outside and they were getting the jurors together. And then one of the prosecutors walked out, and he smirked, and he looked over at me and my father, and he said, yeah, now listen to this phrase. He said, yeah, justice is just like beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Have you ever heard it? Have you ever heard
justice
it?
is supposed to be blind. Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Okay. But we knew, me and my dad looked at each other. We were like, we are in trouble. This is getting ready to be bad, you know? And of course, you know, it did. And what happened with my dad was they tried to charge him as well, but they couldn't, because my dad didn't enroll him. I did. And he bought that land and that house. So, you know, so that was, he bought the land, he bought the house. He'd been staying there for 20 years. You know, that was his place. And so what they did was they started looking for anything. My father was sick. He was about 65 years old. And he was 65. He had just turned 65 that summer. And so they said, well, what we'll do is they start trying to fight. Once you get inside the lion's mouth, they're not just going to let you go. You see? So when that happened, they treated us, this was done with venom. Like, they treated us so bad that they indicted they indicted him, but then they had to throw those charges out. And then they said, well, they went and started looking up stuff. Well, you had health benefits, and you shouldn't have had those. You should have had, like, he should have changed them over to SSI, or vice versa. Either he had SSI, no, he had disability. And I think they said he should have changed it over to SSI at a certain age. He didn't know that. And I'm sure they would have told him as the process had went on. So they said, well, so now you've stolen $100,000 worth of medical. What?
Wow.
Yeah.
So when this occurred and your family was going through all this, and you made mention that, you know, you had to spend some time, a few days in jail. Did the same thing happen to your dad? That he was also incarcerated?
My dad died there. He died in jail. They gave him a full entire year. They were so mad and livid at us. They gave him a whole year. He never made it to the 1 year mark. My father died alone 100 miles away.
Mm.
So that's why I continuously fight, and I continuously talk and speak and do whatever I possibly can to help so many moms and dads and grandparents and guardians and aunts and uncles and cousins and whoever need it. And when the National Parents Union came across me back, probably about maybe almost this time last year, you know, it was maybe a little later, maybe around October, September, something like that, October. And they reached out and they said, hey, would you like to come to the event we're having? And I was like, yeah, in New Orleans. Oh, yeah, I'm going, you know. And then after that, you know, I've embraced them. I love Carrie Rodriguez and, you know, everybody, they are just, National Parents Union has liberated me in a way that I can't even express, because I don't know. And every time I have my, when I speak, I have their award that they gave me an award. I don't know if you can see it. I have that display, you know, all the things that have happened to me. The governor, he gave me, I call them my freedom papers. I put that here, you know, because I don't ever want to forget that's, you know, that had happened. And I always try to encourage people, whenever you go through anything in life, just understand that first of all, you're going to come out stronger. It might still be moments, but you're going to come out stronger. And now you have a story to tell, and to not just tell a story, but this story will be therapeutic for you. Yeah. It'll be therapeutic for the person who's listening, that may need to hear this story, because we don't know what other people's lifestyle or situations may be. You see? So that my story is ugly. I hate it. I wish my dad, if he was going to pass away, my God, this man was a good man. I wish if he was going to get sick and pass away, do it where you were around loved ones, not shackled. He was shackled to a bed with his ankles and his hands, and you know what I'm saying? He probably didn't even know where he was at. He just was done. He was done with this world. you
And
know, and
it would not have happened if like I said earlier, if where you were living at the time had a good school.
exactly.
Good schools that you could choose from and say, I'm going to put my girls here. Because I could say my neighborhood school, in my opinion, is not a good school. You know, they're doing what they can with what they have. That is not a good school. So my children are not even in that school that they can literally walk to 3 blocks down the street. We chose to put, because we had a choice to put them in, you know, my teenage daughter, we put her in a charter school, an Afrocentric charter school. My little ones, I had my rising first grader in a charter school, but now I'm putting her in the school that I work out of because I firmly believe that if my own school leader, if my own school principal has her own grandchild attending the school she works out of, that's a good school. That's a smoking endorsement for me. So I got my little one in there, and she's gonna start tomorrow finally. And you know, even the pre-K, she said I got my other ones in the pre-K. They're all going there. Why? Because she wanted to send her children somewhere, but she wanted to send her own. You know, so when she told me that. Right. But so for all those families that have gone through, you know, I hope no one ever goes through anything like this again. Yes, use this story as an example of what happens when we as a community don't fight to make sure that we go to these school districts across the country, including Puerto Rico, and demand quality, demand the freedom of choice, the freedom of safety and quality education for all our children, because, you know, there are other stories out there, families that have gone through something similar, maybe even just as bad or even worse, when it comes to having to go through a jury trial, having to lose a loved one as a result of them being incarcerated because of this, being accused of you know, stealing education, which is something that it shouldn't even be a part of our vocabulary. It really shouldn't. You know,
stealing a public education.
Yeah, stealing a public education.
And the dollars. Right. But don't forget, the dollars, the state taxes, I don't know what's going on. I don't know why the phone seems like it's acting.
Yeah.
The state taxes, my father paid taxes. So what were they talking about? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It didn't add up. And how do you steal a public education? You know, this was not a private school. It wasn't it was nothing like that. So yeah, so no. And the school that they would have been at, it was a bad school. The kids were bullied constantly. Not just my kids, I mean, just kids in general. It was just, the kids were nasty, they were mean. And I know, you know your child.
Yeah.
And you know each one of your child. You know one child probably can handle it. And you know one child, you're like, that one there, I might have to, I'm gonna hurt somebody for that one, because that one, I already know she's too timid, or she's too this, or she's too that. So I had 2 girls, and one just always gave me the blues. I just knew that she just would come home every day just distraught, just upset. And I was like, well, I got to do something about this, And then my home got broken into. So it was just mounting up to different things that ended up. That's how I ended up enrolling my kids into that district. But I don't know if you know, or maybe you do know. About a month ago, the alumni students from that school reached out to me. Did I tell you this?
The council meeting, but please tell our viewers, what did they do?
This was amazing. So these kids are got to be about 24, 25, 26 now. They were there when all of this had taken place. They were like maybe freshmen in high school, maybe in junior high, freshmen in high school, but it affected them. But not only that, they knew the inequalities that even in that school had, as far as, now check this out. Stay with me. They have 2,955 students there. They have 187 teachers. They have 5 buildings, 3 elementary, 1 middle school, 1 high school. 13% are Black. 79% are white. 3%, okay? And then you have the Pacific Island, and you have Hispanic, 3%, and then I think it's 2% Asian. Well, the suspension rate is 43% Black and 45% white. What? AP courses, 3%. 3% for the black kids, 79% for the white kids. So, and not the AP, the gifted, what else? Yeah, AP, gifted, and I think that was it. But so, yes, and then, like I said, the suspension. So they reached out to me and they said, they wanted me to march with them. They wanted me to rally. I said, of course, set the date, I'm there. So I went with them, did that, spoke at their rally, basically regurgitated all what I just told you with the stats. Because see, I know how they are, and I know if I would have said anything else, they attacked me anyway in the paper. Period. Yeah. They said what they wanted to say anyhow, but they couldn't not say anything I was saying at the rally because I was spitting facts. Okay.
That's right.
Now, the thing about the students, what they were saying, they had demands. They had so many demands. They had one demand is that they wanted more minority teachers there, because in that out of 187 teachers, there's only like four teachers of color. Okay, okay. Okay, so I know one is in administration and one is like a art teacher, and the other two probably is working in the cafeteria. I'm trying to tell you. Okay. Wow. So I wrote it up, and oh gosh, Christina she helped me so much last night. We stayed up. My time midnight. We stayed up all night long, and she helped me get this together, rewrite it, and get the actual language that they could recognize and make sure everything was proper in its place. And I'm so ready to hit send, because I'm a CC to school. I'm taking it to the senators, the governor, every legislature, Congress. I'm taking it to all of them because it's time to change. If the thing that they said, because see what happened when all that got out, they were in defense of each other back then. This is 9 years ago. Okay, they were in defense. Well, no, we have a multicultural. Our kids are so multicultural in this, but it don't reflect that in staff, and it didn't then, and it don't now. So okay. So now let's you want to play? You want to call us spade? Let's go. Let's do this. So I put it out there. I can't wait to present this before them, and see the response, and see, because who knows? Because this is a small. It's the numbers are just as, on nationwide. The numbers are basically the same. Across the nation. Yeah. So if we can hit home here from the mom that was, because I signed it, the indicted mom.
Okay. Wow. But hey, the indicted mom. I'm ready. I mean, that's what you were. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. And so I can't wait to have this go down. If they want to do all this and everything, I'm done. I'm free and clear. I have been out of the situation for 9 years now. But when that school called me and they asked me to do that, and then it fell on deaf ear with that district, I mean, it went on the news, on the local news. It was on the papers and everything. Never did they address what the kids asked for. They never addressed it. Oh yeah, this is what they said. Well, we can have a dialogue, but they never had the dialogue. Now the kids, they're in college, so they had to go back to school. So now everybody's dispersed all over the country again, Colorado, Ohio, whatever, wherever they're at. And so I'm here. I was like, well, hold up. They gave me something to go by. They gave me the baton.
That's right.
So now it's okay. So now here I am with this paper. And I will be presenting it before Congress.
And that's the thing. People do not realize how much power they have within them until somebody else brings it out of them. So the fact that you went back, even after dealing with all that trauma, to that same place, those young people, those millennials, now have the resources and the tools, thanks to what you and Christina were able to write. Now they have the information that they need, backed up by solid facts, to affect change. People need to realize that children learn best. Black and brown children learn best when they're learning it from someone that looks like them. And this is not being anti-white. This is being real. Children learn better with someone that emulates them, that looks like them, that they can say, I want to be just like this teacher because this teacher looks like me. So if they can do it, right, I can do it. And that's what it's going to take. You're amazing. There are so many people that I've had the opportunity to be blessed to meet as a result of that phone call I got. Can you come to New Orleans in January? Because I got my phone call at my organization late November, early December of last year. And ever since then, my family has grown.
Yes. Yes. Family.
Family. And that's what it's about.
Yes.
And that's what I really want people to understand. I want them to, go back. If whoever's looking at this, if there's someone else that you know that wasn't able to tune into this live, tell them to look at the show later. It's all on National Parents Union Facebook page. Listen to Kelly Williams-Bowles' story. Listen to her story. Gain strength from it if you're going through it. Please understand that you are not alone, that there is a group of people from across the country, including Puerto Rico, that are fighting not only for our own children, because your children are grown.
Yes, they're grown.
We have parents, grandparents, like you said, aunts, uncles, foster parents, godmothers, godfathers, aunties, family, friends that are struggling, making sure that the children that is in their care are getting a quality education. No one should have to work themselves to death to pay a tuition. No one should have to, be forced to use someone else's address just to get a quality education. That was my story. My mom busted her butt as a single mom, working 2 and 3 jobs and working bingo to get me and my sister through to receive a Catholic school education. When I was old enough to understand, Mom, stop, put me in a public school, she did so. But I was prepared. I told her, stop doing that. I don't want you to kill yourself working. I'm going to be okay. I got enough of a solid foundation to take me through to high school. And that's what happened with me. That's my story. I told her to stop, and I continued on, and I did whatever I had to do.
But you got the foundation.
Yes, I got the solid foundation. Yes. Yes. She sacrificed. She did what she had to do, and we got that shit. My sister and I both got that solid foundation. And for our kids now, we're doing what we have to do in our families. But your story to me was so inspiring. I think you are amazing. You keep on doing what you're doing. I'm here with you. But right next door, when people start traveling again, I'm going to go to Ohio and say hi. Because I'm like...
Yeah, absolutely. And my arms will be open for you. I can't wait.
And Philly's open for you, Kelly. Whenever you and Jada and your other daughter, they want to come in, just let me know. Let me know.
Absolutely. And if anyone needs to talk to me, I just, you can always email me at Kelly, it's KELLEY @mpunion.org. Just contact me and let me know and talk to me. Let me know what's going on.
Thank you so much for agreeing to be on my show.
I'm happy. I'm so happy you invited me. I'm ecstatic.
I need to talk to Kelly. I need to ask her if she will come on, because I know we're all busy ripping and running. You work at a school, now I work at a school, so I can totally relate to everyone that works in a school environment, to all you teachers that actually do teach the children, to all those teachers that actually feed to your children. Keep on doing what you do. We appreciate you. To all the ones that are not doing what they're supposed to do, watch out. Because there are many parents that are speaking out and calling you out on your BS. And I'm honest with that. It doesn't matter. If you are not teaching our children with equity, love, kindness, and respect, you do not need to teach. And that is the bottom line. That is the bottom line. For those school districts that are not making sure that they hire more qualified Black and brown teachers, shame on you. Absolutely. We're watching. We want to make sure that our babies get educated. Kelly, thank you.
That's right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you
so much. Family, I hope you really got a lot out of the show. The first part of the show, an amazing organization, Urban Youth Kings and Queens here in Philadelphia. If you need to reach out, please let me know if you weren't able to get their information. Maritza @npunion.org. If you need more information on how to speak to Kelly, if you want to talk to us, info@npunion.org. If you want to be a part of the National Parents Union, please go on our Facebook page. please go on the website, nationalparentsunion.org. All of our information is there. Thank you so very, very much to everyone that's watching. Stay safe. Have a great rest of your week. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Kelly. Love you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, you guys are off live.